Have you ever thought that you have no influence on others? Have you felt that people are not interested in you or are feeling close to that? Dark psychology is the name given to the methods or techniques that some people use in order to manipulate the minds of other people. These techniques are nothing more than behaviors that encourage other people to feel something that you want them to feel. At the same time, with tricks that are very difficult to detect, and that is what makes dark psychology so widely used in recent times, both for relationships and even to get jobs. It is also clear that resorting to these methods can cause harm to the people who use them. So if you use them, do it very carefully and do not abuse them. Now that you know what dark psychology is, below I will present 5 dark psychology tricks that will make you win the heart of the person you like. The last one is the most aggressive. Number 1. Mirroring. People tend to pay more attention than normal to what is similar to us. The more similar, the greater the feeling of attraction. The mirroring technique is based on the above. That is, it consists of imitating some of the other person's gestures, agreeing on the topics of conversation that they like, among others. To put this into practice, imagine that you are going on a date with a girl you like. To put mirroring into practice, you will begin to imitate some of her gestures, and as you analyze what she likes, begin to propose topics or activities related, and that way you would be giving them the impression that you also like those topics. And once she sees that she agrees with you many times, she will begin to gain confidence and begin to empathize with you. The usefulness of this technique is because it is not easy to find a person who has the same tastes and opinions as you, since this is what captivates people, having someone by their side who enjoys the same things as them. Number 2, play hard to get. In romantic relationships today, there are many standards that make the difference between one person or another. One of them is what the play hard to get technique is based on, which consists of showing the person you like that it is not going to be an easy thing to win you over. In what situations can this technique be applied? This trick has a lot of scope, as it can be applied on many occasions, such as not responding to his message exactly when it arrives. With this, you can make him understand that you do not have much free time and you dedicate yourself to other things, which makes you more interesting. Another is to say no to one or another appointment proposal, which also highlights what was said above. Another is not to kiss on the first date you have with her. This will make her think about you for a long time, and she will start to think that she is the one with the problem and that something is wrong with her, when in reality you did it on purpose. To bring about this, and among other more examples, as you can see, the advantage of this technique is that the effect that you will cause thanks to it will benefit you, making you stay in her head and think about you all the time. Number 3, love bombing. As this video progresses, the tricks become more aggressive, and therefore I warn you that if you are going to use them, be careful. The love bombing technique is based on the fact that when you start dating someone you like, at first you will give them a lot of attention, you will dedicate a lot of time to them in your day, you will talk to that person at all hours, you will invite them to many places, including others. But then, it is that moment when she feels that you are happy with her, when you will stop giving her all that attention that you gave her all at once. In this way, the other person will think that she did something wrong or that she did something very false, and she will begin to rethink her actions, even though she has not done anything wrong. At that moment, that person will be very manipulable and vulnerable to emotional blackmail, since she liked all the love she received. Without realizing it, she became dependent on you, and she will do everything possible to keep it, even if she has made a mistake. This technique is usually used to achieve a quick attachment of the person you like to you. Some speak well of them, others despise them. Before continuing with the next one, if you are liking the video, it will help me a lot if you subscribe and leave your like. Thank you. Now, on to the next one. Number 4, restricting choices. Sometimes people who start dating start to have doubts about each other, about whether they really like each other and things like that. But what many people don't know is that to put an end to these insecurities, it is often best for one of them to decide. Propose two options, one to continue dating and another to stop dating, which will cause tension in the environment. However, things will be decided much faster, unlike not doing this. The technique we need to talk about now is that when you are in a certain situation with that person, preferably when they are bad, you will propose restrictive options to solve that problem. Normally, when we have the freedom to do what we think is best, we take longer to make a final decision, and in the end, it may be a decision that one of us does not agree with. That's why, when using this trick, most of the time the person will consider choosing one of your options instead of looking for one themselves. For this technique to be even more manipulative, it is necessary that the options be restrictive. The more restrictive, the more manipulative they can become. Although it doesn't work 100% of the time, when used well, it can be very controlling and persuasive without meaning to. Number 5. Playing with vulnerabilities. When we start to get to know the person we like, we will begin to realize their tastes, as well as any defect they have, or even some trauma they had in childhood. Each person is different. There are some people who do tell about these problems that they had, while others only tell their most intimate contacts. The technique of playing with vulnerabilities is based on taking advantage of them to establish dominance in the relationship. An example of this is the following. Your crush's father physically abused her throughout her childhood, and even today continues to abuse her on occasions, but not physically anymore. So if you want to use this technique, you will automatically take your crush's side, supporting her and going against her father, which will make her feel supported and protected. This example I mentioned is a positive and not very manipulative use, but this does not mean that it is used for more manipulative purposes. Using the same situation mentioned above in a simple and brief way so that you understand me well, the following would happen. Imagine that you and your crush just finished the date. It is night and you are already going home, but the place where you took her is near her father's house, but far from her mother's house, who has no problem with her. So to control the situation in your favor, you would take her to your house, which is also nearby, so you don't have to leave her at her house. Your father would be very uncomfortable with that decision, and that way you would get your way. That is one of many situations in which this trick, so advantageous and dangerous at the same time, can be applied. In the world of love and relationships, understanding the subtleties of dark psychology can be fascinating and worrying. While these techniques can certainly influence the dynamics between people, it is essential to remember that genuine love and connection should always be the end goal. Use these tricks responsibly and ethically, respecting the emotions and well-being of both you and your partner. Love should be based on trust, understanding, and mutual respect. And any manipulation should be done with caution and care. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, leave your like and comment. You would help me a lot. We won't see you in another video. Thanks for watching until the end.